Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of your breakdown for Batwoman Season 3, and I am so sorry that I did not do a video on last week's episode 10, because I've just had a crazy, busy, all over the place, hectic schedule, so I was just so tired, was not able to do a video on it, but I did still watch the episode, and today we're going to be actually talking about both episode 10 and 11, pretty much just going to be like a quick little recap summary of kind of what happened in last week's episode 10, and then we're going to be fully breaking down episode 11, so of course we got to give a spoiler warning, even though even episode 11 has already been out for a couple days now. Spoiler warning, if you've not yet seen either of these episodes, definitely make sure to go check them out, but without further ado, let's jump into this and break down Batwoman Season 3, Episode 10. So basically the big takeaways from episode 10 of Batwoman Season 3 is kind of just the end of the Poison Ivy storyline, which is something I was really surprised by, especially considering there's 13 episodes in the season. So why would they end off the Poison Ivy storyline, which I thought was kind of going to be like the big storyline, with 3 episodes left to go? But that's exactly what happens here. I mean, Batwoman, she ends up saving Mary. She is no longer basically another Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy is defeated. And she actually kind of gets her happy ending with Renee. She wakes up on a plane with Renee. And they are going to live basically happily ever after together on Coriana. Which honestly I think is like the perfect place for them to go. And it's nice to see that after multiple breakups, they finally have found their true happiness. But then at the end of the episode, we did have a pretty huge cliffhanger as Joda actually goes on TV and exposes Batwoman as the one responsible for all of these Batman villain trophies being unleashed upon Gotham. And we also see simultaneously that actually Marcus wakes up as a single drop of water drops down on him as he's in Mary's clinic, and he now, of course, last time we saw him, he was all dehydrated, kind of similar to what happened to Poison Ivy, and so now that single drop of water now allows him to wake up, and now he is ready to cause some chaos within Gotham City, and that is what takes us into this week's episode of Batwoman Season 3, Episode 11. And so, of course, after Poison Ivy trying to flood Gotham City, that's Batwoman's first main concern is, what if some of that water got to Marcus and woke him up? So she goes to check on him. Of course, Marcus is gone, but he left behind a really creepy clown puppet, which kind of warns her and also basically just tells her that, like, yeah, he's the new Joker. And he's, like, Batman had Joker, Batwoman has Marcus, which is basically Joker 2.0. And so the big mission for this episode is the Bat team is looking for the Joker's toy maker who actually made the Joy Buzzer, because they have the Joy Buzzer, but it's not working right now, and basically if they can get it to work and zap Marcus with it again, then it will kind of reverse all this sadistic nature that happened to him when he was hit with that Joy Buster in the first place. But as Gotham City is kind of turned against Batwoman, Marcus has turned the city to him and kind of making himself look like a hero to Gotham City, because he actually has revealed that he's partnered with Arkham Asylum and he's like donating millions to help out the insane and like make Gotham City right again or something like that. And what I love here is how when he gets into Arkham Asylum, we get to see a familiar face as he recruits Victor Zsasz, a character I was not at all expecting to see appear in this episode, but I'm so excited that he did. I'm so glad he did, because I love this character. In his brief appearance in Season 2, he was Ryan Wilder's real first villain as Batwoman, so it's cool to see him make a return here. And I love, again, the comics accuracy with the scars and the body count all over his body. That was great, love seeing it. And so he goes into action here and goes to hunt down Joda. But meanwhile, Ryan is also looking for Joda because she's trying to get some evidence that she can use against Marcus, but that is when Zsasz arrives. We get some big reveals here, like, for example, Joda reveals she had an affair, and that's why she initially gave up Ryan, because, that was to kind of help conceal the affair that she was having at the time. Which, based off episode 9, could have been with John Diggle, and John Diggle could possibly be Ryan's father. There's really no proof of that other than the fact that in episode 9 there was definitely some flirtation between those two. It seemed like they had a former romance, And I know one of you pointed out in the comments saying, like, wait, are they hinting at the fact that John Diggle's her father? And who knows? I mean, maybe that's definitely possible. She literally just said she had an affair. But shortly after this real reveal in the episode, though, Ryan quickly and easily takes down Zsasz, which was unfortunate that he didn't really do too much in this episode, but still cool, nice to have an appearance from him. But after she takes him down, you know, just with the skills that she used, she realized, like, wow, you're Batwoman. So now she knows that her daughter is actually Batwoman. But meanwhile, we also have the actual main storyline going on here, trying to find the toy maker, where Mary and Alice actually go and visit the toy maker. But Luke and Sophie actually break into Wayne Enterprises so that they can get the Batwing AI, and they end up checking Marcus's laptop and find out that he has recently been in contact with the toy maker. So as Mary and Alice are working with the toy maker and they think she's tinkering with it and trying to fix it for them, turns out she was playing them the whole time. So Mary and Alice end up getting captured, and toy maker's therapist that she talked about briefly before, she reveals was Harleen Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn, so that was a nice reference to see there. But then, of course, Batwoman arrives to help, and we get this big battle within the episode here. It's pretty cool. You know, the Joker 2.0, Batwoman, you know, Batwing, all these different characters. It was pretty cool. And by the end of it, of course, they're defeated. Well, not defeated, but at least, you know, the heroes kind of win and save the day. But now Joker 2.0, aka Marcus, is working with the toy maker and now has access to all of the Joker's toys, including Laughing Gas, or Joker Gas, whatever you want to call it. It's gone by different names in the comics, but that is definitely a dangerous tool. I mean, you can just see how psychotic Marcus is, and the fact that now he has access to Laughing Gas, that is a dangerous tool for him to have. And just think of what he's going to do and how he's going to use that on Gotham City and against Batwoman. Although, even after that, we get some other interesting endings to this episode, like, for example, with Alice, where she reveals that she doesn't want to be Alice anymore. And Mary's like, oh, well, I can help you with that. And it's not exactly how I thought this was going to go. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, she's going to get redeemed. But no, Alice says, alright, I need you to get the Joy Buzzer and use it on me. Basically saying that she wants to use the Joy Buzzer on herself to reverse all the psychotic nature in her mind so that she can go back to being Beth and basically give up on, because there's only one shock left in that Joy Buzzer, so they can't do it on Marcus and Alice, and she is fully ready to sacrifice Marcus's sanity for hers. So I have a feeling by the end of this, Marcus is probably going to get saved, but Alice may just be actually redeemed by herself without having to use the Joy Buzzer. And that's actually something that happened in the comics, where she was redeemed and became a hero and crime fighter alongside Batwoman, known as Red Alice. So I would not all be surprised if that is the route they are taking here. We do only have 2 episodes left of the season, so we'll see how that plays out. But then the big ending for the episode, which I know Ryan and Sophie shippers just absolutely loved so much, because throughout this episode, actually the last couple episodes, they've been arguing a lot, because of course in episode 9 they kissed, and so now there's been a lot of tension and awkwardness between the two of them. But at the end of this episode, episode 11, they not only make up, but also make out and do some other things that I'm not going to mention, but you watch the episode, so you know what happened. But that is actually where the episode ends, and I thought it was actually kind of a great ending for the episode, because now those two are finally together. That's something that's been built up throughout the whole season, so I'm glad to see that they've finally got their happy ending. But I'm also interested to see where things are going to go from here, with specifically Marcus as Joker 2.0. But anyways, guys, that was Batwoman Season 3, Episodes 10 and 11. Next week, I should be back on schedule to actually get out Episode 12 review and breakdown on time. Again, we're going to have to wait and see. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about these 2 brand new episodes of Batwoman Season 3? And where do you think things are going to go from here? So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.